Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. I'm really excited to be recording this episode. I think we're going to get a little spicy. I think it's going to be fun, informative. Yeah, I'm really excited. So, I have taken notes for this like 3 different times, and I've been trying to make it sound so good and break it all down. And I don't know, maybe going against my true thoughts and maybe trying to create this in a way that I thought was the right way to create it and maybe answer this question so thoroughly that I just kind of lost the plot. So basically, what I'm going to be answering is a question from someone on Spotify. A listener asked, what are you better at because of fitness? What skills? How do those translate elsewhere? And what does that look like? So, those are the exact questions that this listener asked. And instead of just answering those, I went all the way back and tried to, in answering these, right, I thought, okay, well, I need to go back and decide what I want to talk about. Because of fitness, what are you better at because of fitness is a huge question, because I started fitness, my fitness journey 17 years ago. So I'm a completely different person. I have a completely different life, completely different body, completely different mentality. My kids have grown, like everything's different. So I started taking notes for this episode and I really got lost. And it is really, it's a lot. And truly, I think every single, what am I better at? Probably everything. What skills do I have because of fitness? Probably all my skills. Besides my talents, I like to sing and I can sing pretty well. That's not because of fitness, but like so many other things in my life are because of fitness. And so to put that into words, it was just getting really hard. And I had so many like bullet points and then trying to make it a teaching opportunity for you. And anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm just going to get real with you. I actually ended up copying those questions into a doc, and then I just word vomited and answered them and thought, I'm just going to be so for real right now in what I'm thinking. And so here we go. Because sorry if this isn't like a real teaching moment. There's no bullet points. There's no, I'm good at 5 things because of this. I'm just going to say it how it is. And I don't know if it's because like the state of the world right now, maybe it's the state of my own brain right now. Maybe I'm just really, really ready for some sunshine, but I'm not in the mood to like sugarcoat things. I just want to say it. I don't want to think too much. So this episode came at a perfect time, but truly, I am excited to dive in. So I did write a few different sentences here that I'm going to be kind of looking at and going over, but yeah, I'm excited. So these are the questions one more time, and I'll just say it in talking about me. What am I better at because of fitness? What skills? How do those translate elsewhere? And what does that look like? So that's a general starting point, right? So the first thing that I wrote down was I had to set aside time and plan my life in a way that allowed me to put my workouts first, because they were always a priority. If I said I was going to work out that day and I didn't, I felt like I let myself down. So that's what I had to learn. That's something that I'm better at, is setting aside time for things that are important. I had to design my way, right? My life. My kids were 6 months and 3 years old, right around there. So my life was completely different. And so to be working in a salon, to have little kids, things are completely different than they are now. But I had to set aside time. I quickly realized that if I don't plan my day well, if I don't get out of bed, if I don't do what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it, my whole day falls apart and I don't get this in. Because I'm not going to put me first. Of course, I have little kids, right? And a messy house and a job with appointments that I have to go to. So we all have other things that we have, and we become last. And I realized, though, very, very quickly, because we were doing P90X at the time, and my husband and I would do it at 9 p.m. We'd put the kids to bed, we'd go downstairs, we would work out. But that wasn't until a little bit after that I really realized, if I said I'm going to work out today, like if it was part of the schedule, it was part of the plan to work out, and I didn't for whatever reason, I really, really felt like shit. I felt like I let myself down, and I did not like how that felt at all. So very, very quickly, I became better at organizing my day, creating habits, creating this discipline, like designing my life in a way that I could get my workouts in no matter what, because I didn't like that feeling of letting myself down. So that was the first thing that I wrote down. I guess that was maybe the first thing that I just went back to, of like, I have to set aside time for it. So that's a huge thing that that could be a teaching moment, I guess, where you also have to set aside time and you also have to plan your life in a way that allows you to put your workouts first. If you're serious about body recomp, if you're serious about fitness, you have to get your workouts in. There are still, and I guess I should continue on and say, this is still now, right? 17 years later, I still have to set aside time. I still have to organize my day in a way that sets me up to be able to get my workouts in. I still, if I miss my workout that I said I was going to do that day, I feel like shit. I'm mad at myself. I feel like I let myself down. I kept promises to everybody else throughout the day except myself, and that is not a good feeling. So I had to learn that early, and I'm glad that I did because it never goes away. It's not like I'll start my fitness journey when I'll start getting serious about my fitness and my fitness journey when my kids are older or when I have more time. You won't. So thank God I'm not a procrastinator in that sense. That I realized I have got to set aside time. So I am really, really good at saying no to things that I don't have time for, that I didn't plan on doing. If somebody asks, you want to go do this? And I really, really need to get my workout in because I know I'll feel, yes, I would probably have a lot of fun with that person doing whatever they asked me to do. But I promised myself I'd get a workout in. It's going to be a no for me. I can't do that, right? I just became really, really good at that. Another thing that kind of on top of that is it taught me that if something is important, I have to make time for it and I have to speak up about it. So when my kids were little, of course, I couldn't say it's time for me to work out and go find something to do. I had to create something for them to do. I had to entertain them until now it was like time to grab a snack and watch a show, or we'd build a fort in the living room or the dining room where I was working out and we'd kind of do it together. I had to figure out a way that I could get it done and whatever that looked like. It's easier to do it when your kids are asleep. Even now, it's easier for me to do it when my kids are asleep because they're going to ask me something. They're going to need to go somewhere. They're going to be hungry. They're going to need help with something. They're going to want to talk to me, come out in the gym and make fun of me. My kids, we're still very close family. So, they're always going to be there. But it taught me that if something is important to me, I have to make time for it. And I have to tell everyone, I'm making time for my workouts. It's time for me to work out. When my kids were little, it was like, here, watch this show. Please don't come bother me until this show is over. That gave me 30 minutes. Of course, they'd probably come bother me, but I would have to pause it and start over or start again. But it really, really taught me that if something is important to you, you'll make it work. And that's why a lot of this, you'll probably realize as I'm talking through it, is why it frustrates me to no end when people say I don't have time or I don't know how to plan my day accordingly, or I just, I keep whatever the kind of excuses come up. And it's like, for me, if it's important to you, you'll find a way to get it done because you're finding a way to get other things done that are important to you. So if this is important to you, you need to, and you have to stop making excuses and just get it done. And you have to speak up to your spouse, to your kids, to your friends, to yourself and say, this is important to me. I am someone who works out now, no matter what time it is, no matter if it's 11:30 at night and I haven't gotten it done, I'm doing it because that's what I said I was going to do. It really, really did teach me that discipline of I have to do this. And in order to do this, I have to set up the people around me need to know. I have to set up my atmosphere, my environment for success. Next couple of things that I wrote down are I am determined, I have good habits, and I have discipline. And those skills transfer and translate into every area of my life. So I am better at being determined. I was a determined individual in the first place. I'm pretty spicy. I'm pretty sassy. If I want something, I'm going to do it. But I think I've channeled that in a better way to be more determined to do the things that I say I'm going to do. I have good habits. I now have discipline. And yes, those skills translate into every area of my life. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to pin it down a little bit, but I'm disciplined with my time. I'm disciplined with my food. I'm disciplined with my movement. I'm disciplined with drinking water, with snacking, not snacking. I'm disciplined with my boundaries. I'm just determined to stick to what I say I'm going to stick to. I do have good habits. And if you have good habits, that translates into work being a little, laid out differently and being able to execute on things when needed. I have discipline to know this is something I need to do now, or this is something I can do later. I have good boundaries with people, not stepping all over me, not, running all over me. I have boundaries of this is how you're going to treat me and this is how you're not going to treat me. I don't know which way to start here. So the next thing I wrote down is, and this is kind of funny. I do not let people talk down to me because fuck you. I know exactly who I am. That is actually what I wrote down. And I'm sure I'm just typing away over here. But seriously, I am determined. I just said these things, right? I'm determined. I have good habits. I have discipline. I make time for myself. I know what's important to me. I don't break promises to myself. I know exactly who I am. You can't talk down to me because fuck you. Who are you? You don't know me. You don't know the things that I've had to do to get here. You don't know that I plan my day to a T. You don't know that I tell myself, yes, you have to go do this thing, or no, you can't do this thing, or yes, you're tired, you have to get up and go for a walk, or yes, you want Cadbury eggs right now, but you can't have them because you started your cut, right? I know my macros. I know my accomplishments. I know what workouts I'm doing. I know how to build muscle. I know that I built this body. I know that I built this woman. I know that it's because of my discipline, my habits, my boundaries, my determination, my sassiness. I know that I did this. So you can't tell me, shit, you are not going to talk down to me. You're not going to make me feel small. I don't care. I got a little spicy when I was writing this out. And I think that's great. Like, what am I better at? I'm better at telling people, you can't talk to me like that, or I will just leave the room if I don't want to be talked to like that, or if I don't want to be in an environment where things are happening that I don't like. That is a skill that you have to build, that I had to build. I had to work really hard on that. And that wasn't a skill that I necessarily set out for. That also is a little bit of my personality naturally, even in high school, probably even when I was younger. My parents could probably tell you I was probably pretty spicy. I know in high school I was spicy, and not in like a necessarily a rude way, but I'm going to do something and I'm going to do it this way. And you're not going to stop me and you're not going to tell me otherwise. I'll do what I please. Don't tell me what to do. Like, I have a lot of that already instilled in me. Maybe it's even doubled because of the confidence that I have in myself. Now, when I talk about confidence in myself, I don't feel like I am the most smart, talented, amazing, ripped person on earth. Okay, I know who I am. So I know that those things are not true. I do have days where I don't feel confident in my body. I have days, probably every single day, I could pick my body apart 100%. I'm not big enough. I'm not small enough. I'm not ripped enough. The scale's not moving fast enough. I overeat, whatever. I could pick myself apart. Don't get me wrong. And I definitely have work to do. And I have days where my clothes don't fit right. Like almost every single day, I'm a normal human. On the other side of that, though, if someone were to say to me, you should lift heavier, you should eat differently, you should, absolutely not. You can't tell me shit. Like I just said, you don't tell me what I should and should not do. I know that I want to do better, but I also know my boundaries of what I have time for, what I can stick to, what I want to do, who I want to be, what I do want to look like. So when I say that I'm confident and, I get spicy there, it's not because I'm the end all be all and I'm never have a bad day or I'm completely 100% secure in myself and confident. That's not the case physically, but mentally, I do know enough about myself through my habits, through my determination, through my discipline to know that I can do anything I want. I just have to make sure that I want to do it. It's one of those things like, well, I could hit my macros if I want, but I don't want to. That's not what I'm saying. On that note, I talked a little bit about how I'm not drinking alcohol this year in the last episode. And this kind of ties into what I was just talking about. Like, don't let people talk down to me, or I'm sure that I'm going to get questions eventually. I've not really been questioned yet on it. Not really been out a lot. We did go out once with some friends in January, like I mentioned, and no one said anything to me. I saw someone ask my husband why I wasn't drinking, and I just kind of overheard them talking about it. And it was very much like, oh, I respect that. That's awesome. I think that's so cool. And it was very a positive conversation. And I don't think that I will honestly have anything but positive conversations around me because I'm just not around people that are going to pressure me into doing something like that. Again, that's something that I created. That's a boundary that I have. If I were invited to go somewhere and I felt like it would be a place where I wouldn't be tempted to drink because I don't feel like I would go down that route. I have told myself I'm not drinking this year, and I'm not, and I don't feel tempted to do so. I don't even miss it. But if it's one of those, you're out and about and you just want to drink, and if I feel like that would be maybe compromised, where I would feel like I wanted to compromise my judgment on that, or if I felt like I was going to be with people who were going to try to make me feel bad or try to sucker me in, I wouldn't not go there because I feel like I would give in. I would just not go there because I don't want to be around the types of people that would act like that toward me. I would hope that everyone I would come into contact with, when I say I'm not drinking, no, thank you, I'm not drinking right now, or I'm not drinking for an entire year, that they would say, oh my God, awesome. You want me to get you a lemonade? I don't know, like be positive about it. And I feel like I don't want to be around people who would treat me badly in that situation. And that's just a standard. That's just a boundary that I've set for myself. I don't need to be around people that are going to misjudge me. And sure, they can say like, oh, you're just trying to get real fit this year, trying to be in the best shape of your life. Yes, that doesn't, if someone were to say something like that and kind of come back to me with something, I don't know. I'm not around people that really act like that. But in that situation, if someone were to say, oh, being uptight, or, oh, whatever a comment someone would say, just sucking the fun out of everything, or you don't want to have any fun. Again, I don't think that I would ever be around people like that because my circle just isn't like that. But if I was, I feel very secure. Like I just said, fuck you. You can't tell me shit. Yes, I'm the fun sucker. You're right. I'm here to just suck the fun out of the entire party. That's probably what I would say. Like, I don't care. It's not going to bother me. If you're going to come at me with a smart comment, I'm probably going to come right back. So I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what my goals are. I know exactly what I'm capable of. And I'm just at a place where that doesn't bother me. And I want to be clear, that has come from me showing up day in, day out, month in, month out, year in, year out, of the compound effect of showing up, of consistency, of not perfection, of pivoting. It's come from years and years and years of doing that myself. That's the confidence that I have within myself. But it has definitely given me the tools and the attitude to back up how I feel. And truly, that is because of fitness and because of showing up when I didn't want to, and because of thinking, I don't know if these exercises are getting me results, but I'm going to keep doing them. And I'll be damned, they got me results. Showing up, trusting the process, right? So that is so cool. Another thing is that fitness gave me structure. It made me more aware of my choices and my patterns. And it's helped me to be more intentional with my day. All these things kind of go together, but it's also helped me to build routines that support my goals. So I have taken this into my business. So my fitness journey has taught me consistency, the routines, the intentionality. If I say I'm going to do something, I have to do it, but then I have to plan the rest of my day around it. That also goes into my business of these little tiny tasks that I feel like I don't want to do. They're so mundane. It's over and over and over. And it builds confidence in myself and my clients and you listeners. It's all these little things that I do all the time, right? If I show up and I have a podcast episode that I'm like, I don't know if anybody is going to like this, but I really feel like it's going to speak to someone, I'm just going to record it and trust myself. It's made me more aware of the choices that I make and whether or not they are good, whether they are bad in terms of, will this help someone? Is this what I want to do and be authentic? So that's really helped me there. It's also helped me with my kids of saying, this is the time I work out. This is the time I work. This is what we need to do to be able to, kind of like reverse engineer this goal. It's been really nice to be able to build those routines for myself. And that is because of fitness, so that I can fit in my fitness, but it's also routines in life and structure. It's also taught me how to pivot though, because, going through life with little kids and then toddlers and then junior high and then teens, preteens, teens, you learn to pivot. Like that is something that I think is one of the biggest, most important things that I've learned, is that you can make a schedule, whether it be a schedule for your kids, whether it be a schedule for house cleaning, whether it be a schedule for workouts or work, and it can not go to plan. You think you have it all laid out perfectly, and then you're just like, this isn't working. And you try to maneuver and maneuver and maneuver your life around the plan. You have to change your plan around your life sometimes. Like a fitness example, if you're meal prepping all of your food and you have it in containers and you're ready to go, but you don't have a place to warm that up, or you don't take it with you when you leave the house, you can only eat that at home, but you're never home. Let's say you work outside the home and then you have kids and you go to ball games, you have all this prepped food at home, but what are you going to do when you're gone? You have to really, really think ahead. Meal prepping isn't working for you, then you have to realize you're going to have to eat out of gas stations and stores and maybe some fast food. You have to then pivot and figure out macros and all of that outside of the home. That's exactly what I had to do. So being aware of choices and patterns and being very intentional with my day, I've had to pivot so many times, and it allows me to do that without feeling bad or like I've failed or done something incorrectly. I can plan something, even a workout program, and I plan it for 4 days. Actually, just recently, I planned a workout split for 5 days a week because I thought I can do that. And it's been really hard for me to get in that fifth day. I thought it would be super easy. I made the workouts shorter, more days a week. It's been really hard. And instead of beating myself up about it, I just said, this isn't working right now. I'm just going to go back to 4 and I'm going to cram in that fifth day, and I'll just take one exercise from that fifth day and put it on each of the other days. And it's fine. I've just learned to pivot, and that has been really helpful too. If a podcast episode flops, if a workout program that I created in the past flopped, I cared and it sucked, but I just move on. I'm like, well, I tried, it didn't work, pivot and move on. So it allows me to just drop it and move on rather than carrying that judgment with me everywhere. On the discipline topic, again, this is just my brain dump, so I'm just going through these. Fitness has taught me discipline, like I talked about. It taught me how to do things even when I don't feel like it. It helped me to understand that results come from that repetition, not random motivation, like showing up when I don't want to. And it also gave me the discipline to not take too many days off in a row of anything. So that discipline taught me that showing up gets you results. I have to show up even when I don't want to. And I also can't take off too many days in a row myself from whether it be a workout, from macros, or from work, or, whether it be check-ins or creating workouts or posting on Instagram or whatever it is. Anything, right? I can't take days off of doing the laundry, too many in a row, it adds up. Doing the dishes, anything, right? Because of the compound effect of that. If you're doing things consistently, you're going to see results from those things. If you're not doing things consistently, you're going to see results from those things. So not doing the dishes, not doing the laundry, not working out, the laundry is going to pile up, the dishes are going to pile up, and the muscle is going to leave my body if I'm not working out long term, right? Not like 3 days in a row, but you see what I'm saying. And then if you are doing things consistently, those things are going to add up too. So remember, what you are doing is creating results, and also what you're not doing, what you're putting off, is also creating results. So I have to be very disciplined about what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. Yes, this means that now I had to give myself grace for a long, long time. This journey also did teach me how to give myself grace, and rest days were really good, because when I learned muscle only grows at rest, I realized I really, really needed rest days. Then you can kind of go too far with the rest, and then the discipline goes to the wayside. But it really, really did help me to realize this is something that I can do later. I really look at each task that I'm doing and think, can I do this another day so that I can do this other thing that I really need to do today? What is the most important thing on my list? So I take all the things that I need to do on a day-to-day basis, and I organize them in my head of most important to least important. And if I don't get to the things at the bottom of the list, that's okay. I cannot be at the bottom of the list, though. I have to be at the top or the middle of the list so that I get done, so that I get my work done and I have time for myself. I need to drink my water. It takes energy and discipline to hit your macros. If I'm like, I just really don't have time to eat right now, that doesn't matter. Go grab something quick and get some protein in, because you want to build muscle, you need to eat protein. You want to build muscle, you need to go work out. It's not going to build itself. So I have to be disciplined in that aspect. And I think that really carries over in my workouts, but also in life. Of, you want to build a business, you need to show up. You want to have clients, you need to treat them like royalty. Like, you have got to do things. You want your kids to love you and respect you and spend time with you, you have to put work in there, right? It's just everything has compounded off of that fitness part of things. Next, I like this one, delayed gratification. I'm really good at that. I'm really good at showing up and doing the work and calling it good. Like, that is my gratification, I guess. I feel really good when I show up and do the workout that I said I was going to do. I don't see results from that workout right away. I hit my macros. I don't see results from that right away. I talked about on a podcast episode, your body is not Amazon Prime. Neither is your business. Neither are your relationships. Neither are you. They're all projects, and you have to work on that skill of building that delayed gratification. That helps me in other areas. It's also helped me to pivot naturally. Like I said, it gave me something that I can control too. So that's part of it. Is even in other areas of my life, I feel like, when I could show up for a workout and feel good about it no matter if I saw results in the mirror that day or even that week or not. I felt really good about it. It became something that I control. It was like, well, I can't control how the rest of my day goes, but I can control how I show up. I can control the work that I put in and the effort that I put into that work. Same thing with my kids. I can control how I speak to them. I can control that I go in their rooms and say goodnight. I can control those things. I can't control how they respond to me. They're teenagers, for God's sake. Most of the time they respond to me like, what are you doing here? But I don't care. I'm just going to show up anyway, right? I show up and hit my macros. I show up and do my work. I show up and text my friends. I show up. And so I think that is something that has really, really helped me. It's given me something to take when I have no control. I feel like that is a place that I can go to the gym or write workouts or focus on my macros. Like, it's given me that sense of control. And that's not maybe something that I could translate outside of, how it's helped me in other areas of my life. But I do think that that control is nice, where I can learn that piece of all of it. And just that helps me to just show up better and to show up consistently in the gym. But also where that's transferred is basically to every other area of my life, relationships, work included. Something else that fitness has given me is, again, here we go, being a little cocky. I am confident. I do look good. I do look strong. I carry myself differently because I built this body. I talked about that a little bit ago, but when I walk into a room, I do walk into it differently. I don't walk into it like, oh, look at me, here I am. Actually, it's quite the opposite. I don't want anyone to look at me, but I carry myself differently. And that does allow people to look at me and respect me a little bit more than someone who's walking in a little slowly and unsure. And I do feel like that really does help me because I did build my body. I do have kind of an air about me sometimes. I know when to turn it off and turn it on, which is nice too. But I do have this air about me that hopefully, I hope gives off, you're not going to treat me like shit. You're going to respect me. I earned a spot at this table. I deserve to be here, and you will treat me as such, or I will leave. But I am confident. I love that I do look strong. And that does help me on a day-to-day basis to show up differently when I walk into a room. When I am having conversations with people, I can show up with that level of confidence and respect for myself and respect for them. And I feel like that's just something that's not seen all the time. I know I'll be talking to a lot of women and they're very laid back and they're very insecure in different ways. And you can just kind of tell, but I feel like that really, really comes off in my conversations. I am a loud person. I laugh loud. I talk loud. I have a big personality, but I also don't want eyes on me. So I know how to kind of bring that down, but I know when to bring it out too. If I can carry a conversation, I can look at someone and give a genuine compliment. I'm very empathetic in the sense that I can sense how someone's feeling, sad, mad, happy, and I can really work off of that. But I didn't feel like that before fitness, right? Before I was confident in myself, I would see those things in other people and want to say something, but I was too shy or scared to do that. Now I can read a room, I can have a conversation, I can put someone in their place if I need to, or I can really help someone else through a conversation. I can stand up for someone. If someone needs me to go with them and be their support, I will be that person. It's not that now I'm not super loud. It's not in a loud, like obnoxious way. It's just I'm here and you see me and you see me in a good way, and I'm not going to be dumbed down, and I will help you if you need help, and I will cry with you if you need to cry, and I will be a great friend if you need that. I'm very moldable, and I think that in a good way. And I think that comes from just that natural confidence of I know exactly who I am and I know how to pivot. I have discipline. I can really be secure in myself, and that really does carry in other areas of my life. I also have grit. I know if I'm lifting a weight, I know whether I can lift it or not. I know if I need a break, I take a break and I get right back in and I lift that weight, right? I know if I'm having a bad day, I take a break, I chill, I cry, whatever I need to do, and then I jump back in. I know if I need to have a conversation and it's awkward, I can wait, I can pause, I can pivot, have that conversation, and then move on. It's kind of like compartmentalizing, but it's also like, I know I can do this and be okay. And all of that has really come from fitness. So I know it's a lot. I know it was kind of all over the place, but that's just truly how it came out of my brain when I was answering those questions. And again, I had it broken down into these, I don't know, really nice sections of like all these bullet points of what it has done for me. And I felt like that just wasn't the way that I wanted to go about it. I'm way more of a say it like it is kind of a person. What is it? They ask for forgiveness, not permission kind of a person. But truly, I thought, why not just answer these questions very genuinely and like what I feel like right off the top of my head that I'm better at because of fitness. I don't know that I had discipline. I don't know that I had determination. I probably had little bits of all of these things in my personality, right? I'm very structured. I don't like rules, but I like a list, so I probably had tendencies of being very disciplined and confident and, having habits and showing up for myself. And that was probably always there a little bit, but fitness has definitely brought out the really good parts of me and compounded the really good parts of me that I'm, very proud of. And I really just can't say enough how much fitness can help you and change your life and change you as a person if you go about it in the right ways. You will notice that, yes, I said, I look good, I feel good, I'm strong, but I never said I look perfect and I reached my goal weight and I feel so confident because of my goal weight, or, I feel so confident because I can lift a certain amount or because I can run a certain amount. Because of fitness, I have become all of these other things that I mentioned, and those skills have translated everywhere, like everywhere into my life. And the way that that looks is all of the ways that I've explained. It's like every single part of my life has been touched in some way by fitness, by what I've learned from my fitness journey. So when you get caught up in the numbers, in the results, in the measurements, in the photos, in all of the tangible things that we want, and the reasons that you really truly start your fitness journey, and that's why I started mine too. But if I would have limited it to, I really am only doing this to weigh a certain number on the scale, I would have bypassed everything that I just told you. None of it would have happened, because if I was only wanting to become skinnier, become smaller, become, I guess, worthy because of a number on the scale, I wouldn't have turned into this amazing person. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't have turned into the person who has all of these qualities. So when you go forth this week and really think about your fitness journey, just show the fuck up for yourself. Just show up for yourself, for you. Like, create time in your day for you. Say no to people for you. Do all of this for the future you, not the physical future you, but the internal future you, and you'll be so fine. So fine physically. No, you'll be so fine. You will be totally fine. All of these things will come, and it's totally on purpose. You look back and you're like, well, I didn't expect to get any of this out of my fitness journey. Exactly. That's the whole point. You did the work and it showed up on its own. And I think that's just one of the coolest things about this journey. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sorry, it was a little bit of a mess, but that's kind of how I feel today. So here we are. But I hope this really encourages you to unfuck your fitness and to stop thinking about the little things that don't matter on a day-to-day basis. And if you get really good at this shit that I just talked about, consistency, compound effect, showing up when you don't feel like it, all that stuff is going to come. Like, I promise you, it's not going to come any other way. If you don't show up, it's not going to happen. So what choice do we have, right? But all this other stuff just kind of comes naturally in addition to, and it feels really good when someone tries to tell me something that I know is not true. And I just think, you can't tell me shit. Who are you to say that? You don't know that. You don't know me. You don't know what I do. It feels really good to be that kind of a person. And you will get there too, where someone will say something to you about not eating something at a party or not drinking at a party. And you'll think, who are you? You can't tell me. It doesn't matter what you think. I don't care. I'm so secure in myself. Your words aren't bothering me right now. And that's one of the best feelings ever. So I can't wait to hear how you liked this episode. And I will talk to you next week.